But after debating people like, or arguing with people, I should say, like Yoka and Jesus freaking, Venom Fang X, and Gira, they don't see the fucking web. They don't want to see the web. They're just flying towards the goddamn light. And that's all that matters to them. And that's all that will ever matter. And while I admire the people who have the fucking patience to put up with this shit, to debate and try to convince these people, I don't have it anymore. I'm done. I just don't care enough to stand in front of the web with my light anymore. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm tired. You know, once you realize that these people honestly don't care, and that they never will, isn't it time to stop and just say, fuck
it? You do proceed later on, Sarah06, to, you know, go into some reasons why people should continue doing it, but, you know, I can understand very much why you are fed up with it, and why you just feel like, at this stage, just feel like throwing the towel in the ring and saying, listen, I've had enough of this bullshit. It is extremely frustrating to be talking to somebody like a Venom Fang X or a Gear Up or anybody like that, and to realize that your argument is not just not being taken seriously and responded to in an unconstructive manner, it's not being responded to at all. You can spend the whole video explaining something to somebody like that ad nauseum, and they just blithely carry on where they left off. You might as well have said nothing at all. That's intensely frustrating. And in fact, you are right. It is a complete waste of time, because these people are not here to get their minds expanded in any way, to get a better understanding about reality and how things work. I don't really like the word truth, because that's more like a personal thing, but, you know, given that we understand that I'm not talking about it in that sense, yeah, people who are not interested in finding out the truth about evolution, or the fact that the universe is billions of years out, or how the human mind really works, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's extremely frustrating. And still, there is a good reason for doing it. You know, first of all, you know, to elaborate on what you are already saying in your video, it's important for us to show viewers that there is this whole wealth of scientific and secular and humanistic, memes, ideas, and so on, knowledge out there, available, and that it's readily available. That's the other very important thing, because we are dealing with people who come to YouTube who might have a vague interest in this, never have really looked at it, and they might come across videos by people like Gear Up and Venom Fang X. And if then, with their interest piqued, there is no counter-argument available, they might actually come away from this thinking that those people have something valid to say. Now, obviously, if you are aware of the wealth of scientific knowledge that's available, you wouldn't be fooled by this. And that is why we have to keep making those videos. But I understand why, after a while, you just can't do it anymore. And that is why I have so much admiration for people like Don Exodus 2 or Aaron Ra or Potholer or there's somebody else and I forget his name now. CDK007, how could I forget him? Those people who patiently keep making these videos, going into quite a lot of technical details, explaining it all. Noel Plum 99 made an excellent video recently explaining, fossil genes and things like that recently. It's a waste of time if you think that you are going to get through to people like Gear Up or Venomfang X. Of course it's a waste of time, but it's not a waste of time when you realize that you're going to make other people watching YouTube who may be made aware of what's going on for the first time in their lives by coming across videos like the ones of Venomfang X and so on, make them aware that there is this, against this tiny little midge of an argument that they put forward, there are whales of arguments against what they're saying that can be readily explored from the scientific community and all the other places that I mentioned earlier. That information is not only there, but it's readily available. The fruits of all these centuries of scientific investigation, scientific labor are actually readily available and not that hard to find, and where you can find them. That sort of thing is important. We have to do that sort of thing. Now, I can quite understand why you get tired with it, and by all means take a break. It's not my place to tell you that you have to continue making videos. That would be stupid. Of course not. But I just want to kind of cheer you up a bit and say, like, listen, what you're doing is not a waste of time. Just realize who you're doing it for, and you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for the rest of the audience, and they will appreciate it once they realize that what you're telling them is valuable. And don't ever forget that. But there's another point that I want to make, and this is something that I pointed out in a comment to Desert Files video response to you, and that is about, you know, the other purpose of our making videos, and that is why I make my more, you know, assertive videos, the ones where I raise my voice a bit and where I'm a little bit more direct and blunt and to the point, and I take no prisoners. Those videos. And the reason for me doing those, and that is where actually the flashlight metaphor comes in quite handily again, except I'm not shining a light trying to get somebody to reach a web. I am shining a light to illuminate something, to expose something. It's like we are all living in this darkened room, and there are some noises going on, and people don't know exactly what they're hearing. So what I'm doing is taking the torch of reason, and I'm exposing the rat's nest in the corner, where the rats are sitting, eating their young. And I'm putting them in the glare of my spotlight, so that everybody can see clearly what's going on over there. And that's why I make videos about people like Jack Together for Peace, or like Gear Up, or The Atheist Antidote, or who else was I talking about recently, this Winston Churchill guy. These are people who present arguments that they know are false. Jesus Freak 777, who they know are mistaken, fallacious, incorrect, and misleading. They know that. Nobody can be so stupid as to not know what sort of stunts they're pulling. And that is why we need to expose what's going on. That is why we need to shine that harsh light on those videos, on those people, so that people can see as clear as day what we're dealing with here, what sort of vermin we're dealing with here. And that is by no means an exaggerated expression. These are people who would gladly see the large majority of humanity suffer forever after they die. And the fact that that is a fantasy doesn't change one iota that is what they think is fair. That is what they think should happen to people. That is what they think many, many, many people deserve. So we need to sit here, we need to continue sitting here, banging our heads against the brick walls. We have to continue sitting here, as frustrating as it is, and keep on shining those torches at those rats, so that they can never, ever hide.